Is that Watari? No. Wow. What an enthralling performance. Our emotions are the direct proof that we exist and we are breathing. We are alive. Let it ring. Let's feel all of our emotions, for better or worse. That's what Emmy's saying. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a licensed psychotherapist and your favorite yapper. Welcome back to my detailed psychological analysis of Your Lie in April episode 8, almost at 4. Assassination Zero, Samsonian, Helixy, Jin Ichimaru, and Roxy Love are the founding sponsors of my videos. Shout out to your support. And again, shout out to all the Patreon members, families, and YouTube members for your generosity and ongoing support. You guys mean greatly. Seriously, I mean that. Sit back and I hope you enjoy my reaction to episode 8 and see what is in store for today. All right.
シュベルスタインコンクールからの招待状が届いたぞ。いよいよ海外だぞ。マイホーコンと被るが、あっちはキャンセルしておこう。茅柳先生。ん？俺、ドイツには行きません。まずだ。向こうが招待してくれるんだ。めったにない美味しい話だ。ショパンコンクールのためにも海外に顔を売っとく必要だってある。
So I'm guessing this episode delves deeper into the background and the context and truly who Takashi is and the other girl, right? The competitors to Kosei. And obviously there's a reason that's deeper than just the prestige of the competition. Takashi already won. So like the teacher said, what's the point? So I'm very excited to see what is that purpose and what is their why. Because remember, up until this point, the entire premise of the show, aside from trauma, loss, grief, is figuring out Kosei's why. Why is he playing? Who is he playing for? So it's very interesting to this shift of tempo with the same through line. What is the power of why? What is your purpose? Piano or violin or anything between. So I'm very excited to see what is the purpose and what is Takashi's why and the other girl's why. Since I'm guessing the other girl will also be part of this episode. Ah, Kosei is there a why? Wow, okay.
だがもう2年も表舞台に顔を出してないし、バカなことだって分かってます。でも俺の目標は海外でもショパンコンクールでもありません。
What's your goal? Wow, goosebumps. Whoa. That is fascinating. I literally got full body goosebumps. I don't know if you can see it, but that's fascinating. So what we're witnessing here is Takashi just professed his why, his purpose, why he became a pianist is not for accolades, prestige, to be a European champion, but rather to compete against Kosei. In other words, his ultimate why as a pianist is to share the stage and to be in competition in relationship with Kosei. Kosei is the true north, or Kosei is Takashi's North Star. He is Takashi's why. We can also view this as admiration-based attachment. Definition right here. Admiration-based attachment. In a sense, I would argue Kosei is the psychological ideal. Kosei represents a psychological ideal for Takashi. Through this admiration, through the flashback about Takashi seeing Kosei absolutely dominating on the stage, being the human metronome, I'm sure that seed was incepted, the seed of inception, the seed of inspiration. And we saw Takashi's eyes sparkling with hope, aspirations, vibrancy, that, oh my goodness, I also want to be like you. I admire you. But interestingly, because maybe they're in middle school, instead of expressing his true intention that, hey, I want you to acknowledge me and I want to surpass you, the inspiration that embarked on my journey, it comes off as, I want to beat you. But at the end of the day, it's all about emotional attachment. Takashi is emotionally attached to Kosei, and unknowing to Kosei, Kosei exerts such a powerful and profound influence in other young, great talents, like Takashi and the other girl that I forgot what the name is. I wonder if Kosei is aware of his own influence. And I wonder what does that represent. It's very fascinating.
大丈夫。お前はできる。いける。
Remember, fear is universal and fear is invisible. Insecurities are invisible and anxiety is also invisible. Yet, all of us go through it. The only thing difference is the varying degrees, the extent of trauma and anxiety and fear. But all of us are wired the same way because we share the overarching umbrella of human species. Let's go, Takeshi. I'm rooting for you. Now that you're inspired by Kosei.
いい表情だ。今日のよ、たけし。
Oh.
よし。有馬。見ているか。
Right there. What Takashi said in his mind is, are you listening to my music? But it's not the music he's talking about. He's talking about, are you hearing me? Are you acknowledging me? Do you see me, Kosei? I'm here because of you. I want to surpass you because you are the seed of inspiration. I'm here for you. Interesting. Yet, what is the thesis of the episode or of the series? Kosei is still figuring out, who am I? Who am I playing for? What is my why? Yet, ironically and unknown to Kosei, like I said earlier, Kosei is that why. And so many talented competitors are actually playing for Kosei. So Kosei, who are you playing for? Fascinating, fascinating dynamic. He's on a different level. An unwavering fortitude. What is the source of that unwavering fortitude, that sincerity, that empowerment on his face? Kosei. Arima Kosei. Man, he's captured the entire audience. Yup. Wow. Wow.
お前のいない2年間頑張ってこれたのは
Wow.
また蜃気楼のように追いかけさせてくれるか
Will you let me chase after you like a fleeting dream? Maybe Takashi doesn't even care about winning or beating or surpassing Kosei, but rather he truly wants to just exist relationally through this music that sets them together under the same category of musicians and pianists. He just wants to exist in the same plane, same fields, same universe as Kosei. That is a profound influence that Kosei has on other people. That is amazing. With that, I want to ask a question to myself and also everyone else, because great art imitates life. Who are you influencing every single day? Because whether we like it or not, we're being influenced every single day by news, social media, the people that surround us. And likewise, we are also influencing all those people. And the source of that, right? There is a very famous saying in the personal development world. We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And there's a lot of validity to that. That's actually stems from a chimp hypothesis, definition right here. Chimp hypothesis shows that based on the behaviors and habits of 5 chimps, you can gauge and speculate chimps among that group, because chimps are social animals, so are us. Of course, I'm not comparing humans with chimps, but the point is we are truly the average of the 5 people that were the closest. That is a level of influence in the relational context. So just like Kosei unknowingly became the invisible source of influence and inspiration for Takashi, I want to ask all of us, who are we inspiring? Who are we influencing? And doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel empowering? That whether we know it or not, we are always influencing people around us. In that sense, all of us are influencers. Influencer is not a unique thing only for YouTubers and whatever, right? All of us can influence people for better or worse. But we must first ask the question, who do we want to become? What do we represent? Who are we to understand the influence that come with it, right? right? Fascinating.
の憧れでいてくれるか。
Wow, look at that. Look at, just like in that sense, Tsubaki is the same with Takashi, and I'm sure the other girl. They all fell in love. Love at first sight. With Kosei's absolute mind-blowing performance and who he once were with his musical identity.
見せつけてくれ。さあ、次は。
Wow. This is also the perfect portrayal of truly how music is relational and music is expression. Music is freedom, freedom of expression. They're speaking to each other. Takashi is talking and conversing with Kosei through the screen, through the auditorium, without words. But his music speaks because they speak the same language. That's amazing. Oh. Wow. Bravo. That was great. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Ah. The perfect words to sum up that scene, Takashi's performance, is music as emotional language. Man, perfectly demonstrated. It is a special thing. That's true. But to be fair, the only caveat I would say is to be considered as rivals, don't you have to have some even match? Like you win some, you lose some, you win some, you lose some, and you become rivals. But Kosei did technically annihilate all of the competitions until 2 years ago. So technically speaking, can anyone be considered as a rival to Arima's Kosei's just absolute regime of dominance? Oh, she's saying it. You're an inspiration, man. Wow. Wow. Music as emotional language. Kosei and that girl, they all understood. They had the same interpretation from Takashi's music because they're all great musicians. They speak the same language. But remember what that girl said? Don't make me laugh. I wonder if she said that because Kosei too is also that girl's inspiration. He is also her why, her purpose, her North Star. But I guess we'll see what the story is. He's absolutely drained. He went all out. Whoa. That's physical and mental fatigue, exhaustion. He absolutely went all out, full throttle, no regrets. He left everything on the stage with his piano. Much respect, Takashi, much respect. Wow. Everyone else is like, that was amazing, fantastic, good job. But remember, the only affirmation, the only validation, the only person Takashi wants to be acknowledged is not the accolade or winning the competition. It's Arima Kosei. That is the power and influence of Kosei. That's amazing. Such an unexpected plot twist. Jitters. Wow. The adrenaline crash. Oh, acknowledgement. He did it. You see, emotional attachments form through admiration. That's it. He doesn't care about beating Arima. He just wants to be acknowledged and be seen by probably the greatest prodigy child musicians of their time until 2 years ago. What an honor to be acknowledged by your idol. For sure. Wow. Wow. Damn, his instructor did nothing, just catching strays for no reason. Although his instructor's shallow, Takashi did amazing. Yo, Savage.
コンクールも軒並み1位。
Dominance.
まさに飛ぶ鳥を落とす勢いですね。
世界に羽ばたく逸材だね。そ
Wow.
れに比べて
Endless
随
praises.
分と差をつけられたものだ。
Oh, it's the other girl. Is that Watari? No. Ah. Yeah.
見たことある。
Watari's like, oh crap, I forgot Kaori's here. I just said another girl's cute. But let's be honest, y'all. Watari knows, Kaori knows. Kaori and Watari, deuces, it's not gonna happen. Because Kosei took Kaori by the storm, emotional storm, because of who he is. Think about all these characters who are equally amazing, musicians or otherwise. Look at all these characters who forms emotional attachment to Kosei. Kosei is the center of so many people's universe. But again, he's the only one that doesn't realize that, who's unaware of that fact. Fascinating, huh?
応援に来た時、さっきの相沢君。見てたの。名
Ah.
前とかいつも上位にいたから覚えてる。
Look at that. Even in that picture, when they were little children, who is Takashi and the other black hair girl looking at? They're looking at Kosei, who's in the middle. Again, I don't think it's only because Kosei won and has always been winning, but because Kosei represents psychological ideal, the pinnacle in their minds. They all just want to be seen and acknowledged by Kosei. Wow, very cool.
結局、後世が1位だったけどね。
だからなんで椿が得意げなんだ
Oh, her name is Emmy? Okay. Emmy.
俺の目に狂いはないきっとエミちゃんがぶっちぎりで優勝だ
I'm a great judge of character. I'm an oracle. I know the future. What is the source of my confidence? Oh, she's cute. Based on your cuteness, she would definitely be an amazing, stellar pianist. Wow, Watari.
でも井川さん、最近は苦戦してるかな。
Uh-oh. That's what the judges were
熊
saying.
谷コンクール。
Hmm.
経験してる。ほーん。上がったり下がったりだね。昔は3人で上位独占だったのに。
Hmm. Here's my prediction. Just like so far, just like Kosei represents inspiration and motives and why for Takashi, I'm sure Kosei is the same for Emmy. But why has Emmy been playing poorly and being behind? I bet the timeline is about 2 years. I bet her performance went downhill and regressed. She became more inconsistent in the last 2 years. Who's been absent in the last 2 years? Kosei. So in that sense, my speculation is that Emmy has been playing without her motivation, without her why. She's been playing purposelessly. She's been playing without her purpose of Kosei. So now that Kosei is back, I bet Emmy's gonna have a performance of her lifetime because her why just came back to her world by sharing the same stage.
失礼。
あら、高柳先生。
どうも、落合先生。
That's Emmy's teacher, I'm
どうです
guessing.
か？
The female.
お宅の井川さんの調子は。
嫌味な男。
Oh, they're gauging competition. They're talking shit and doing this invisible psychological tactic.
お見事でしたね、相沢君。ご指導の賜物ですね。
いやー、ありがとうございます。僕には過ぎた弟子です。
Shallow indeed. I'm
し
dead.
かしながら、そろそろ海外に目を向ける時期かと。国内でやり残したことはなさそうなのでね。
Ooh, that brag.
もはや
Humble
国内
brag.
に敵はいない。あなただって見たでしょう。
Except Kosei, buddy. Nah.
ご自由に。
それでどうですか、井川さん。
More
あ
talking
の
shit.
子、エミは気分屋でね。ほんのちょっとしたことで演奏がが。
Hmm.
その日の天気にすら左右される。この2年間、あの子のモチベーションを保つために。
Trying to keep her motivated for the past 2 years has been a chore for all involved. I called it. It's because Kosei's been absent from Emmy's universe. How can you be centered when the center of your musical universe is absent? You can't. But now, she's regrounded, recentered, and again, I hope she performs and delivers performance of her lifetime. And I hope Just like Takashi's music spoke to Kosei, I hope Emi's music, her performance, also speaks to Kosei. In light, springboard, and motivates Kosei that, oh my goodness, I need to step it up because they're all talking to me. Because remember, language, expression, communication is both ways, right?
周りはてんやわんや
Oh, I'm getting hyped.
倒すべき目標が消えていたから
Ah,
だけど
Kosei.
今日は違う
Yes, sir.
倒すべき目標
Obviously, bro. Game time. Red dress. Color red is color of confidence, according to color theory.
たけしでは目標にならないと
相沢君もエミを相手にしてないでしょ結果が証明してるって顔ね
落合先生
Bro, you started.
かけてきたのは
Yeah, for real. You started, dude. What the heck? All right, let's go, Emmy. Rooting for you, Emmy.
坊や
Let's see it. Oh, little boy. Ouch. All right.
これより審査を再開いたします
相
Well, I'm
沢
getting
君の王座は
hyped.
今日で終わり
Ooh,
Emmy
fighting
が終わらせる
words. Fighting words. Let's see you, Emmy. The center of your universe is back.
赤くなっちゃ
Oh, she's feeling it. Visceral response. Excitement. Yep, she feels it.
久しぶり
Yep. Fun fact before Emmy hopefully dominates the floor or the stage. Physiologically, our brains and our hearts cannot separate the difference between anxiety and excitement. Excitement and anxiety produce the same physiological response. Heart palpitation, arousal, and so on and so forth. So what does that mean? It's the only differentiating factor between excitement and fear or anxiety is our self-confidence. It's our belief system. Do I have belief that I'm going to do well? If so, that turns into excitement, produces the physiological response. But if we feel this lack thereof, lack of confidence and belief in ourselves, that produces anxious response. And it creates a spiral, vicious cycle. The more you're anxious, the more you get caught up and stuck in that anxious loop. And the outcome then speak for itself, right? So in that sense, the fact that Emmy just experienced full body goosebumps, that means she's excited. Why is she excited? Because she feels centered. She's grounded. I'm sure she will deliver an absolute stellar of a performance. Very excited.
そうか
Let's see Emmy's origin story. Did she also see him performing when she was young, just like
私が
Takashi?
5つの時友達のピアノ演奏会の応援に行ったんです
Dozing off, of course. Kosei showed
が
up.
舞台に出てきたん
Yep.
です
Yo, look at the way Kosei walks. Like a freaking robotic mechanical zombie, dude. Aw, what a shy boy he was. Yo. Ah, what a clumsy, cute little boy.
こっちがハラハラ有馬くんがへえ
演奏だったらしいんです
First time. Very special. Look at that. Did you see Emmy was blushing? Did Kaori's new romantic rivalry show up and appear? Obviously, it's clear that again, Kosei too represents psychological ideal also for Emmy, like I suspected. But maybe it runs even deeper. Just like Takashi shares this romantic preference and desire with Kosei, wants to be acknowledged by him, heard by him, literally, and seen by him. Maybe Emmy goes even a level deeper. Maybe her emotional attachment is similar to Tsubaki and also Kaori's. Admiration turns into romantic interest. Interesting. Why else was she blushing, you know? Calm before the
ためらい
storm.
や戸惑いと決別する時間
Those precious seconds he took to bid farewell to his nerves. Freaking poetry, man. Absolutely poetic.
そいつの指が剣に触れたその瞬
Wow. Another inspiration.
できた。
Oh. Aww. Wow. Oh, wow, I'm speechless. Kosei's performance was so viscerally resonating. His music spoke such powerful emotional language. It spoke and touched Emi's little heart so deeply that she cried because it was overwhelming for her. The performance, the bliss, the music that Kosei displayed. In other words, Kosei's music changed Emi's life. That's why she said at that moment, my future was decided. What was her future? To become a pianist. Kosei, you're literally changing lives. But who's changing your life? It was your mom in the past, but now Kaori. You see, this is the perfect demonstration of how music is truly relational. That's what music is. Music changes people's lives. When we're upset, when we're feeling depressed, down, sorrow, grief, we all have those pieces of music, that song that touches us, that soothes us, that makes our life better, that improves the quality of life, and they make us feel seen, relatable, acknowledged by the artist, musician, anything in between. That is the power of music. Music is healing. Man.
ぼりはけていきました。感情が一気に溢れ出したんです。
Wow.
ただただ感動したんです。
She was viscerally
音楽の
touched.
楽しさを
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
有馬昴生は変わった。
機械仕掛け。
母親の操り人形。
譜面の
コンクールだけのピアニスト。
Yep. His mom, Saki.
わかるわ。腕試しに出してみたコンクールで素晴らしい演奏をした息子に夢を見た。
Wow.
と叩き込んだ。譜面の指示通り、機械のよう。
The metronome. So Kosei was trained and performed for the sake of competition. It's also like school, right? So many of us, we study in preparation for the test. In other words, we reverse engineer how we approach a subject based on the test format, based on the standardized test format. But from doing that, we lose out and we miss out on so much valuable learning opportunities and growth. When we take classes and approach subjects to maximize GPA, sure, we maximize GPA, but we minimize actual learning that benefit us, that we've become alive, because we become the best learners. Regardless of the rigorous nature of a certain subject, when we enjoy the subject the most. Many of you guys might be saying like, I struggle to read. I'm not a reader. First of all, that's an identity. If you read, or if you read once, even if it's 2 pages, you are a reader. That's an identity-based reframe. Secondly, when we do that, right? Maybe it's because maybe we don't like to read. Not because we are not readers or we're bad at reading, but rather you're not interested in the subject of that book. 1, because of educational system that's broken, but 2, you haven't really found a book that really speaks to you, that touches you, that moves you, just like music. So it's not really about how many books we read. It's not really about being a good reader or a bad reader. But it's about, are we interested in? Do we enjoy what we do? That's identity formation. In that sense, that's what Kosei represents for Emi. She fell in love with music because of Kosei. But on the other side, Kosei lost his love for music because he began to train for the sake of competition, not for his love for music, because of his mom's dying dream.
指導者として否定しきれないのが辛いと。
It's understandable.
強い子だもの。
Let's go, Emmy. Rooting for you.
ではきついこと言ってるけど、ものすごくお前にこだわってるんだぜ。有馬。僕に。なあ。
I think so too.
なあ。たけしは本当の有馬を知らないでしょ。
The fact that her teacher said that Emmy's more temperamental, it shows me that Emmy might also represent a different playing style as Takashi. Maybe Takashi is more technical, kind of similar to Kosei, but less robotic and mechanical. But maybe Emmy represents similar stylistic choice as Kaori. She's temperamental. What does that mean? She's more emotionally expressive. So maybe she incorporates more of her emotions into her playstyle. I hope that's the case. Either way, I'm sure I'll be very much enjoying her performance. Red is such a bold color. I love it. That's what they focus on.
息しか出ねえ。黒いピアノと彼女。なんかすげえ気。
Yeah, that color contrast is very attention grabbing. Let's go. All right.
綺麗な音だ。
Chill, bro. Chill. Let's go, Emmy. Oh! Oh! Oh, that fluency. You feel emotional weight to her performance, right? I feel it.
村っ気がある。しけた海のように。
But waves are powerful.
なら今日、ピークの波が来ても不思議じゃない。
Yeah. Wow. Oh, goosebumps, dude. Oh, she's speaking to. Yep, she's speaking to
私は今日
Kosei.
待ってる。
Oh, she's in the flow state.
朝食べ
Bro, it's because of Kosei.
できたから。
It's Kosei, obviously.
そうだ。違うでしょ。
It's because Kosei's watching.
あいつがいる。
Mm-hmm.
2年ぶりにすぐそこに。背が高くなってた。
Oh, goosebumps.
少し上がりまくり。あいつがすぐそこで私を見てる。
Wow. Wow.
ピアノを弾き続けているんだから。
技術があるのは知っている。
Wait, quick pause. My apologies. Did Emmy say so? Let me summarize. Takashi's playing to be acknowledged and seen and to share the same universe as Kosei. Emmy's playing also not for accolades, competitions, or beating or surpassing Kosei. She's playing the best she can to prove it to everyone else that, hey, you guys are wrong. That's not who Kosei is. I know who Kosei is. He's a naturally born, one of the most gifted musicians of our generation as children. He is not a zombie. He's not a machine. He's a vibrant, live, dynamic, fully complex musician. One of the best at that. She's playing to prove people wrong, to denounce the blasphemy from other people. Dude, Kosei, man, you're gonna have more girl interest than freaking Watari at this point, dude.
しかし、これほどとは。
行け。
会場が14歳の女の子に引き込まれて
Enthralled. Yep. Oh, I feel the emotions. Wow.
私はあんたを否定してやる。せなんて聞きたくない。私のピアノで否定してやる。
Wow. It's her first performance that she fell in love with.
黄色。これは彼女の感。
Wow. She sees her emotion. He sees her emotions.
怒りと。
Anger. So Emmy said something profoundly powerful. She said, I'm going to denounce you. Not just denouncing the perception of other people about Kosei, but I'm going to deny you of your false identity of a pianist practicing for competition. I'm going to denounce you and deny you of your false identity, your false self. Because your true self is a music-loving prodigy pianist. Your true self is a self that inspired me and changed my life forever when I first saw you playing on stage when I was 5 years old. I'm going to help you reconcile with your true self for the love of music. And that's what color red represents, that Kosei sees anger. She's angry on behalf of Kosei, and she's angry at Kosei because he let that blissful, pure musical identity die because of his mom. That's anger out of frustration, out of her deep, deep admiration, and care for Kosei. Super, super heartwarming and very powerful. Oh. Oh, she's in love with Kosei. 4 minutes. Wow. 4 minutes changed Emmy's life forever. Power and influence of Kosei. Let it ring. Wow. What does that say? Let it ring? Let it ring? What does that mean? Don't let the phone that rings die prematurely. Don't let the sounds end prematurely. Let it ring. Let your emotions ring at full throttle. Let's not suppress and deny our emotions. Let's experience the full spectrum, full aliveness of our emotions. Because when we feel emotions, whether that's positive or anxiety, fear, whether it's positive emotions, neutral emotions, or negative emotions, when we feel the full spectrum of our emotions, it means one thing, that we are alive. Our emotions are the direct proof that we exist and we are breathing. We are alive. Let it ring. Let's feel all of our emotions, for better or worse. That's what Emmy's saying. So powerful. And admiration. Oh, loneliness. Interesting. Oh. Wow. Animation's crazy. Autumn leaves. Wow. 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 Wow, goosebumps. Wow. What an enthralling performance. Standing ovation. She killed that shit. Wow. Wow. Quick pause. That's the second time that Kaori said, I get it. The first time is, I get your emotions. I understand the emotional language you're speaking through piano. Anger and loneliness. Angry at Kosei because he let his true self die 2 years ago. And lonely because he became absent. Kosei became absent from her universe, like I said. But the second time, Kaori said, I get it. You also pour everything into your play. What is she saying? I think Kaori understood that, oh no, Emmy also shares deep, deep emotional attachments and romantic interest with Kosei, just like Kaori. Romantic rivalry, speaking of rivals, let it ring. Feel the emotions, baby. Bravo. Bravo, madame. Let it ring. That's the title of episode. Let it ring. Let our emotions ring without suppression. Wow. That was awesome. I think that was my, not my favorite, but one of my favorite episodes to date because not ironically, although this episode wasn't directly centered around Kosei, but it was directly and indirectly about Kosei. Kosei's legacy, his imprint, his footprint his influence was spotlighted to the highest degree from Emi and Takashi's amazing performance. Music is freedom, freedom of expression, and to express fully, we need to feel our feelings fully as well. We are one with our emotions, whether we like it or not. Absolute bonkers of an episode. Amazing. Anyway, y'all, as always, if you enjoy my yapping, make sure you're subscribed to stay tuned until the next episode. And what a beautiful show. And my main takeaway from today's episode is just that. Let our emotions ring. Let's feel the full spectrum of our emotions, because that is the direct proof of our aliveness. Not a walking dead, but a fully vibrant, complex, dynamic human that all of us are. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, hope to see you again in next week's episode. Till next time. Peace.